Wow. It's Facebook has changed a lot since 2020. So it took me quite a while to figure out how to go live for you guys. My name is Monique Wilson. I've added a traditional name in there, Monique Karhiio Wilson. So you'll see me on Facebook with that name. Uh, it's a Mohawk name, Gayankeheka, Haudenosaunee name that my family has used. Uh, I live in Maple Ridge, BC. My people are Haudenosaunee, Niuwen, which is Mohawk and Cree, or Iroquois and Cree. I'm also French and Irish, and I suspect there's some British blood in there. We don't know a lot about our European ancestors, to be fair. I was born in Musqueam, Tswelituth, Coast Salish territory. I was born in Vancouver. I live in Maple Ridge, which is Kwantlen territory, Katesy and Kwantlen. I give thanks to them. They're beautiful hosts. I am a guest here. And I had the privilege and the honor of being able to sit with an elder of the local nation, Katesy Nation, for over 12 years. And we built a really loving relationship. He was part of our family, and I was part of his. And yeah, that's what I say about that. Hi, Uncle Mel. So I say a prayer for all their descendants, prosperity and good health to all the Katesy and Kwantlen peoples, to the Indigenous peoples of this land. They've been singing and dancing and drumming and praying on this land since the beginning, taking care of it, and really rooting in that sacred vibration. So why am I here? The post-solstice blues. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about myself, my practice. So I'm an Indigenous healer. I do know some traditional healing techniques that were taught to me by traditional elders. I was taught to share them. I was taught to use them. So there is no appropriation. I was given the word. You use these techniques. We are giving them to you to use with your clients. There is also some contemporary shamanic techniques. Contemporary shamanism is what I was going to say, for lack of a better word. It isn't. It is a word that belongs to the Tuvian and Northern Europe, Russian border, in that territory. It's not a word of the Indigenous language here, or even my own Indigenous language, my own people's language. So every single nation would have their own word for the spirit doctor, the one who does spiritual healing, the one who connects with the soul, the one who travels into the world of spirit or communicates with the spiritual realm to gather medicine and bring it back for people. I do that work. When I asked Uncle Mel what would I be called in, he just looked at me and said, "You're a spirit doctor." So, yeah, he used English, and that was what he called me. However, I just call myself a healer. I do not do the healing work for people. I assist them on their journey. I've been doing this work. I was answering a rape crisis line when I was 21. I've been working with women who have experienced violence since that time, 21. I'm 57 now. So I began doing trauma work as a peer counselor at a very young age. Then I began to learn energetic healing, physical healing through massage and aromatherapy, began to move into Indigenous practice, sitting with the elders, and then learning from contemporary shamanism, learning skills around journeying. I began all that in my 20s and really started to use it to assist people in my early 30s. I've been doing the work since then. It's been about 25 years, close to 30 years of doing that spiritual healing work. The trauma work, the studying I've been doing recently, integrative hypnosis, how to use trance and hypnosis to change our minds. Our brains are malleable, they're changeable. We can change the neural pathways. We're not locked in to beliefs and habits and patterns that we don't want to have in our lives. We can change them. So through hypnosis, I studied clinical hypnosis in my 40s, and now early 40, when I was 40, I think, when I got my clinical hypnosis certification. Now I've studied integrative hypnosis with Melissa Tiers. And recently, in the last 3 years, studied the science of trauma, somatic experiencing. I finished my 3rd year, the last year. I'm going through the paperwork for certification, but it's powerful, powerful learning. All about our nervous system, the science, how we are affected by trauma, all kinds of trauma. Medical trauma, car accidents, abuse, all levels of trauma. Witnessing abuse. Many people experience trauma and they don't even know it. They just move on with their lives. They're doing just fine. And then maybe a little later, they're not doing so fine. Things are not so comfortable. Maybe a little bit of anxiety. Maybe a little bit of depression. Maybe a little bit of not being able to do activities because they're too triggering. Not being able to go outside. Not being able to be in a mall. Like, sensitivity levels go way up. And somatic experiencing is an awesome modality that helps us process and transform the trauma that's being held in our body. Our memory is in our body. We know this now. It's not all about the brain. We know that our body carries memory. And when that is addressed, magnificent change can happen. So those are some of the things I do in individual one-on-one sessions, and I also hold a women's circle. So that's who I am, a monthly women's circle that you can find on my website, Monique-Wilson.ca. Monique-Wilson, all one word, .ca. And you can find my services there. Enough about that. That was my intro. I just wanted to let you know that this is coming from a place of wisdom and education and years of experience. So, the post-solstice blues. I approach my work really casually, as you can tell, and I hope to keep it that way. It's professional, casual, professional, professional, casual. Post-solstice blues. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I sure felt it. I got a big whack of it yesterday. And how it manifested was I heard the news on CBC that 5 of the richest men in the world, the top 5 richest men in the world, richest people, which happen to be men, have more, like close to doubled their income or something like that. And the people with the least amount of money are receiving even less. And that just blew my mind. And tremendous sadness. I wept. I don't mind saying that. I spent some time, I made some time. So there's one technique. Make some time to feel, to just honor and respect the emotion that is moving through your body. making that time helps it move, actually move through. And then when the feeling is overwhelming, when the emotions are overwhelming, and when it's like, you know what, right now I need calm, I need peace. I can make time to process that emotion later. Maybe I'll journal, maybe I'll have a bath where I will weep in the bath. I will remember what triggered me and do that work. But then there's moments where the triggers are too strong, where the emotions that piece of news or that behavior of a relative or the realization that you're not going to see your family again for another 6 months. There's some moments when the overwhelm is threatening to, you feel like you're sinking, drowning a little. In that moment, there's a really great technique, that I'm going to teach you. It's EFT. And many of you may have already heard about it, and you may have forgotten about it. Some of you may practice. So maybe I'm doing a really short version of it. Maybe you want to research it. Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT. Look it up on Google. You'll find lots of information about it. There's also a really great book called The Anti-Anxiety Toolkit. The Anti-Anxiety Toolkit. And it's written by Melissa Tiers. Tiers. She's one of my teachers, one of my hypnosis teachers. She's fantastic. And she made a little booklet that has like numbers, like something like 30, 40 techniques in it. Very easy to read. The techniques are 1 or 2 pages, maybe sometimes 3. Very easy little booklet on Amazon, or ask your local bookseller to order it. Ask your local bookseller to find it for you if you prefer not to shop on Amazon. Yeah, okay. And I'll probably write that maybe in the comments when I'm done this post. So first, before we get into the EFT technique, I want to teach you something about breath. There is a simple and easy breath that will calm your nervous system every single time. It works. It takes some practice. Once your body is used to it, once you've trained your body to become really comfortable with it, it will work even faster and it will last even longer. So the technique is simply to allow your exhalation to last longer than your inhalation. So you breathe in. So my exhalation there, when I was pursing my lips and blowing out, was longer than my inhalation. I'll do it again. And maybe count for a little extra. See, my voice even changed automatically. My body is so familiar with this breath that my nervous system calmed right down, and even my voice changed. So I've come used to it. I've become used to it. So if you breathe in for 3 seconds and you only exhale for 4, 5 seconds, don't worry about it. That's perfect. That's right. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. As you practice, you can practice exhaling a little slower and a little longer. And as you exhale, your body will relax and let go of that tension. Your body will relax and let go of the tension. That's right. Excellent. Perfect. This breath can be used at any time, anywhere. You can do it quietly. You can do it through your nose. I breathe in through my nose and I gently blow out through my mouth. It helps me slow the breath down and keep it longer. But you could do it through your nose completely. Exhale out through your nose. You can do this breath standing in a lineup. You can do this breath when you're driving your car. You can do this breath sitting in the kitchen. You can do this breath in the bathroom when you need to take a break from that person that's driving you crazy. You can do this breath at any time, anywhere. You can do it while you're talking to that person that's driving you crazy. You can simply calm your nervous system. Bring it down, bring that high activation down through your breath. You don't need to do fancy counting breaths. It's not necessary. Start with this one. And if you like the fancy counting breaths, go ahead. Do all those. But this one is so simple, so easy, can be used every day, all day. When we exhale completely, we're totally releasing all the old energy in our lungs, the energy that no longer serves us, the air that no longer serves us is completely released from our lungs when our exhalation is longer and we extend it. We empty out. So our next breath is actually fuller and full of more of the oxygen and air that we need that will feed our blood cells, feed our muscles, feed our brain. It's actually more full. We have more capacity for a fuller breath when we exhale completely. Okay, so there we go. That's the breath. This is the technique now. I don't want to spend too much time on live. So, yesterday for me, it was deep emotions of sadness, but also there was some rage. I got to admit, there's some real righteous anger in there about hoarding money. People that hoard money, and that it's allowed on our planet, that we're not all required to share. Really bothers me. It's a trigger for me. I got to be honest. We should all be required to share, expected to share, encouraged to share, taught to share. Anyways, so let's not go too far down that road. So for me, it was, I release this rage. I release this anger now. 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 I release, right on the sternum, I release this anger now. I release this anger now. And the breath. Now, of course, I'm calmer today because I've done the EFT, and I have been processing the anger, and I have been sharing when appropriate, but also contemplating, what can I share? How do I change the world? What behaviors can I do to make this world a better place to live in? And I can do what I can do. So please hear that. You are able to do what you are able to do. And let's not jump down the rabbit hole of it's never enough. That belief is scarcity thinking. That belief is a lie. We are enough. Our behaviors, when we make behaviors to help others, it is enough. It does not matter how small or large it is. If you got larger resources, then of course, go large. If you got smaller resources, do what you can. And honor and respect that action. Okay? So let's do the EFT one more time. This time, because I touched on it, guilt, right? I release this guilt right now. I am releasing this guilt right now. I release 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 this guilt right now. And breathe. Check in with your body. That's just as important as the breath, as the EFT. So we did a few techniques, breath, EFT, and now I'm going to say check in with your body. You know, yesterday, the anger was so strong that I felt like my neck, that it was like there was clouds in my throat. And I realized, when I'm this angry, I don't even want to speak. It's like I'm afraid of what's going to come out of my mouth when I'm this enraged. I don't want to share it with people. I don't want to spread that around. But I also went, so anger can silence me. I can actually, if I hold on to anger, it could silence me. That's the message I got from that. So my body was telling me something. My body was telling me to allow, to encourage, to process the anger. Allow it to move. So I spoke about it on my Facebook page, my name page, which I call Monique Karhiio Wilson. Karhiio is Karhiio. It looks like Karhiio. It looks like Karhiio or something like that. So, but it's on Kokum's Den. It's all hooked up. So, I shared a little bit about it, and I did EFT, and I processed it, and I wept. I wept my tears of deep grief for all those that have way less than we do here, way less than we do in North America. Even when we're poor in North America, we have more resources than many in other nations around the globe. So I did that weeping, and I did EFT, and I did it like 3 or 4 times. This can be done, and some people do it even shorter. Some people will say, I release this sadness now. I release this sadness now, right on the bone, right on the bone, right on the eyebrow there. I release this sadness now. I release this sadness now. I release this sadness now. and release. And check in with your body. Check in somatically. That's what somatics is. It's the word we use to describe what's going on in your body. Check in with your body. Your body will tell you whether you're still holding it through tension, through anxiousness. Maybe you still feel your shoulders are up, or maybe your shoulders are down, but now it's moved into your lower back. Do the EFT again. Do the shortened version. Do the longer where you're doing your upper eyebrow and then your cheekbone just under your eye. It's the bony spots. The bony spots. Top up there. It's the bony spots. And these are meridians we're tapping. These align. They're energetic centers. And they assist our body in releasing tension, stress, and emotion. It's the emotional freedom technique. So, there we go. That's the first technique I'm going to share. Ooh, 25 minutes. A little long. Or 20 minutes. Okay. I'll try to shorten them. Thank you very much. If you're interested in working more one-on-one, Monique-Wilson.ca, you can book an appointment. My Gmail is healwithmo. Heal with Mo. M-O. HEALWITHMO @gmail.com. Many blessings. Take care. And we'll see you again in a week or two.